Seattle Metro League, the top high school basketball league in Washington that has produced some of the NBA's biggest superstars. 9 of the last 10 3A state champs came out of the Metro League, so in this series, we cover the 8 teams in the Metro Mountain Division throughout the 2024 to 2025 season. This is episode 4, Garfield vs. Nathan Hale.
Me and my nephew keep on flexing, getting all these racks. Got so much drip when we pop out, they asking what is that? I spit the bitches on these kids, boy, you can't step like that. I'm T4L and EBE, I put it on the map. I'm scared to fit, I treat the mic just like a staring. I've been fighting, tossing, turning in my street, these demons hunting. I was broke a couple years ago, now everybody noticed. And I was broke a couple years ago, now everybody noticed.
Welcome to episode 4 of Metro League. My name is Joey, and today we got Garfield versus Nathan Hale. Garfield comes into the game at 3-1, coming off a huge 34-point win over Roosevelt, remaining as the number 3 ranked team in Metro. As for Nathan Hale, they come into this game 1-4, struggling in league play, keeping them at the bottom of my rankings. The only switch up in the rankings this week is in that 4-5 spot. Seattle Prep has won 4 straight, and O'Day has lost 2 straight, so they're flopped from last week's rankings, but they face off this week, so we'll see what happens in that matchup. But let's get into this matchup, beginning with the starting lineups of each team. Starting for the visiting Nathan Hale Raiders, we got 5'10", number 82 ranked sophomore Jalen Ruler, 6'1", unranked senior Hale Smith, 5'9", unranked senior Liam Carey, 6'2", unranked junior Michael Coleman Dorsey, and 6'2", unranked senior Max Leverson. Starting for the home Garfield Bulldogs, we got 6'2", number 8 ranked sophomore Zay Davis, 6'4", number 1 ranked sophomore Trip Haywood, 6'5", number 86 ranked senior Daniel Jackson, 6'1", number 95 ranked senior BJ Roy, and 6'9", number 3 ranked senior Juju Irvin. The Bulldogs are coached by BJ's dad and former NBA superstar Brandon Roy, who looks to lead Garfield to another championship before his son graduates. Juju won the tip to start the game for Garfield, and not long after, he was throwing it down. On Garfield's next possession, Tripp had this nice drive to the hoop, finishing with his left, but Max Leverson answered back on the other end with this floater in the paint. Juju then hit a fadeaway bucket in the post, which the ref blocked our view from SMH, but we weren't going to let that happen again. Jalen Ruler then found Michael Coleman Dorsey in the paint, who got Juju on this fake before finishing the bucket. Now, no disrespect to this Hale squad, but Garfield was the clear favorite to win this game as they are stacked with talent. But that didn't stop Hale from putting up a fight early in the game. Liam Carey got a steal on Garfield's next possession, and he hit Jalen in transition, who knocked down a triple to give Hale a 7-6 lead early in the first. From there, Garfield knew they needed to step it up on defense, and they began to do so as Juju got a huge block, followed by a steal from Zay Davis moments later, which would lead to Tripp getting to the line. He knocked down 1 of 2 to tie it up, and the Garfield defense continued to put the pressure on after that. Tripp then had a beautiful pass to Zay on their next possession, and Zay kept cooking, knocking down this corner 3 a drive later. They then got another stop on defense before Juju got back to work in the paint with this and 1 bucket. Nathan Hale continued to struggle offensively, and Tripp got to the line again for Garfield, this time knocking down both free throws. Garfield then got a couple more steals before Tripp threw it off the hizzy of Liam Carey, hitting D-Jack in the paint for a tough bucket. Garfield continued to roll as the number 15 ranked junior in the state, Donnie Burkett, now checked into the game, hitting this floater to make it 14 unanswered points for the Bulldogs. Max Leverson finally ended the streak on Hale's next drive, however, but Garfield would head into the second up 22-9 after Donnie knocked down a couple free throws at the line. Hale got a much-needed quick bucket from Michael Coleman Dorsey to start the second quarter, and on their next possession, Jalen hit a 3, cutting Garfield's lead back to single digits. On the other end, the number 21 ranked junior Mono Bomet now checked into the game for Garfield and knocked down a couple free throws to put Garfield back on the board, but Jalen got a hot hand hitting a behind-the-back step-back 3 for Hale to keep their momentum in the second. Garfield's starting 5 now re-entered the game, and right away Tripp hit a tray ball to get things back on track for the squad. Liam Carey answered back moments later with a putback layup, and the next few drives were back and forth defensively, with both teams coming up with consecutive stops. Eventually, Tripp got fouled on a 3 to break the scoring drought after knocking down a couple free throws, but it remained back and forth after that. Max hit a floater for Nathan Hale, and Tripp answered right back with another triple. Just before halftime, Juju got to the rack on this effortless layup, and sophomore Myron Kanda hit a couple free throws, but the game would head into halftime with Garfield up 34-23. We're gonna get into the second half in just a moment, but if you've been enjoying this content and you wanna rep our brand, then cop one of our Inevitable Athlete hoodies, now available at inevitableathlete.shop. They're super cozy, super comfortable, and we got some of the top athletes in the PNW repping the brand, so make sure to hit the link in the description to get yours right now. But let's get into the second half. Hale Smith hit a 3 to start the second half for Nathan Hale, so just like that, it was an 8-point game. But Tripp got right back to work for Garfield, knocking down this short jumper on the ensuing possession. Juju also continued to dominate in the paint, finishing a tough shot through contact, but shortly after, Max would nail a triple for Hale to keep it a close game. The last thing Hale needed at this point was for Tripp and Juju to get hot, but that's exactly what happened. Juju got a putback bucket under the hoop, and Zay made a nice pass to Tripp, who knocked down the 3 to give Zay his assist. They continued to make stops on defense, as Tripp then got a steal leading to this bucket in transition, and BJ Roy got his first bucket of the night on this baseline drive to the hoop. Nathan Hale was now down 17 before Jalen Ruler hit a deep 3 from way beyond the arc, but Garfield just couldn't be slowed down on offense. Zay splashed a 3, BJ splashed a 3, and moments later, Juju elevated for the slam. Hale Smith then knocked down a much-needed 3 for Hale, but Juju and Tripp just couldn't be stopped as Juju continued to dominate in the paint, getting this putback bucket on his own shot, and Tripp decided it was showtime. Tripp got a tech for hanging on the rim too long, which was wild to me, but let me know in the comments if you think this should have been a tech. As the third quarter closed out, Garfield continued to dominate on both sides of the ball. Sophomore KJ Hightower got a steal leading to his first bucket of the night, Zay knocked down another corner 3, and BJ got an easy layup in transition as Garfield would take a 29-point lead heading into the fourth. Liam Carey got the first bucket of the fourth on this 3, and Juju continued to use his size to his advantage on the other end. He had a powerful move in the paint, and on their next possession, he hit KJ, who knocked down a floater. KJ then got himself another steal on defense, leading to this tough and one bucket. Senior Zay Cunningham then got his first bucket of the night on this drive, and senior Roy Robinson knocked down a triple for his first bucket as well. Everyone was cooking for Garfield top to bottom, making it impossible for Hale to make a comeback at that point. Max hit a couple more shots for Hale, but Garfield would end up closing it out, almost scoring 100 in a statement 93-51 win. Tripp Haywood led the way with 21 points, 5 assists, and a couple steals, with Juju Irvin right behind him scoring 18 with 9 rebounds, almost getting that double-double. Almost everyone on Garfield scored, and as for Nathan Hale, it was Max Leverson that led the way with 17 points. But stay tuned for next episode because it's about to be the game of the year. Rainier Beach versus Garfield, aka the Hood Classic, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see y'all in episode 5.